And eventually we're here, the last matchup in the first round of the Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championships. And what a championship it's been so far. Let's have a look at the bottom half of the table. So the bottom half of the table is looking like this, and as well as you'll remember because you've watched all the other videos obviously, last time the Budvar was ceremoniously knocked out by the Menabrea, which was interesting because I thought the Budvar was going to go a long way. It shows what I know, but that Menabrea, really impressive. I thought I got them the wrong way around. I thought the one with more flavour would have been the Budvar, but the Menabrea just had more flavour. It just did. It was just better. It was a nicer beer, it was a better beer, and the Budvar is out. So, what's going to happen this time? Because this is the last matchup now. The last time I'm going to taste two beers that I haven't tasted so far in the championship. And I have got this one. It's going to be a big one. Big favourite, the Paulaner Munchner Hell. And anyone who's had this will know why this one would be a favourite. It's brewed in Germany. It's imported from Germany. It's a German Helles. And it's a good one, if I remember rightly. But that is up against this. It's up against a craft beer. Craft of sorts, Brewdog Lost Lager. I say craft of sorts, it is a craft beer, let's face it. If Camden Hells is a craft beer, then Lost Lager sure certainly is a craft beer. And it's the Brewdog Lost Lager. What can I say? You know, these kind of different lagers can sometimes cause big upsets. We will see what's going to happen when these two are up against each other. So, I'm not talking any more about these. Well, let's talk a little bit more about these. So this one's 4.9% ABV. This one's 4.5% ABV. Yeah, I mean, brewed by Brewdog, Lost Lager. It's a really standard thing. It's available everywhere. The Paulaner, a lot more available than it used to be. You can get it all over the place this now. You can get it in Spar, Tesco, get it in booths, and it's one of those German Helles beers like the ones you get in booths, but the rest of them are all not allowed in this championship. But this one is because it's available so widely. So there you go. So we've got the Paulaner, we've got the Brewdog Lost Lager. Let's get these into glasses and start the taste test. Okay, beers poured. One's got a slightly bigger head than the other. That's the first thing I'm noticing. Looking at the colours, one is slightly clearer than the other. This one's a little bit hazy on the left there. This one is absolutely crystal clear. I mean, that is so clear, it is unbelievable. You can see, I can literally see the room through that. That is one of the clearest beers I've ever seen. That is incredibly clear, that. Can you see my face through that? Yes, indeed. This one, I'd say it's got a big head. Definitely not clear. They're similar colours. This one's possibly a little bit lighter, a little bit yellower. That one's got a little bit more of an amberness to the colour. And other than this one's got a bigger head than this one, there's not a huge amount different on the two. Right, I'm going to get started with this Rivington glass and see what we've got in here. Okay, it's getting quite a bit of lemon in there. It's a bit grassy, a little bit sweet. I haven't got my water. Just give me 1 second, move the table slightly. Go get me water. Need that. So, my water, let's get it in the middle. Ceremonious last one of the first round. Let's not rush it. It's interesting, that. Once again, not smelling like I remember either of them smelling like, but I'm getting lemony, I'm getting grassy, a little bit sweet, and a tiny bit of malt in the background there. That's what I'm getting on that one. Okay, let's have a go on this one. Not getting much on that one. It's almost smelling like lemonade, which is strange. That is smelling like lemonade with a little bit of lager in it. Not even a shandy. Like lemonade with a bit of lager in it. Is what I'm getting on that. There's not much. The aroma is not giving much there. Once again, it's another example this of, if I don't know which one's which out of this, then then I'm certainly not the beer person that I thought I was. because the aromas are very, very different. This one is giving me a lot of the aromas that I associate with a lager. This is giving me some of the aromas I associate with a lemonade. I'm not getting much from that at all. Oh, now I'm getting a bit more. I'm getting some lemon on this one. It's kind of like bitter lemon. It's almost like that where you get bitter lemon. When you get bitter lemon, and almost a bit like a cloudy lemonade. Now we're getting there. Yeah, but there's not much else. There's very little in the way of malt. There's no malt there at all in the smell. And possibly a little bit of grassiness. I'm just getting a little bit of a cloudy lemonade smell. There. I'm just going to cleanse my palate. While I'm intrigued as to whether this one tastes like a cloudy lemonade, I'm going to go for this one first. Cheers. Okay, it's sharp, it's dry, it's very crisp, it's very refreshing. There's a bit of bitterness, not a huge amount of flavour. It's a nice bit of breadiness on the finish. It's got a nice clean finish. Not brimming with flavour, but as I say, I've had my hand on this warming it up all that time. But as I say, yeah, it's alright, it's nice that. That's a nice beer. That's a nice lager. I wouldn't say no to that in a pub. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a nice beer. Okay, let's try this one, Nana. Okay, so that one, again, it's crisp. There's more in the smell than there is in the flavour. It's not brimming with flavour at the moment. But it's clean, it's crisp, and it's got a little bit of malty backbone there to it, which is bringing out a lovely like biscuitiness in it. I'd possibly say there's more of a bitterness in this than this, and if they are the way around, I think they are. That surprises me. I would have thought there'd be a bit more bitterness in this one than this one. To be honest, I'll make myself look stupid straight away, and I'll say that I think this is the Lost Lager, and this one's the Paulaner. I should really know because I've had the Paulaner a lot. But to be honest, again, when you don't know which is which, it is very hard. Your mind plays tricks on you and starts thinking, you know what, I don't recognise either of these. It's amazing the tricks on the mind that knowing which beer is which plays on you, really. Because as I'm not 100% sure which way round they are, I think I'm 99% sure which way, but because I'm not 100% sure which way round they are, I'm still thinking, if this isn't the Paulaner, then I'll look like a bit of an idiot. But yeah, it's sharp, it's lemony, it's grassy, it's a little bit biscuity, a little bit malty, very well balanced, very refreshing. This one, on the other hand, it's got a bit more of a bite to it. It's a bit drier, but there's a bit of a sharpness on the finish that I'm not quite warming to. It's very nice, but I'm being picky now. So I'm being picky now. This is nice, and to be honest, both of these are better than I remember the Lost Lager tasting like. I've got a can of old Lost Lager in the garage, which I still haven't. I haven't been drinking them because I didn't like it. And when I say old Lost, I'm talking about the old can style, the old style of can of Lost Lager. And I haven't been drinking it because I got a load of them and I didn't like them. So I just left them and didn't bother drinking them. But they're still there. So what I will do is I will do a taste test, like I did with the Birra Moretti, where I review the old Lost Lager, which is very out of date now, and also get a can of new Lost Lager, and see how they compare. Neither of these are as sharp or as dry as I remember the Lost Lager tasting, but like with the Camden Hells, I so often would drink the Lost Lager straight out of the can, I'm under the impression now that if you drink it straight out of the can, it's not as nice as if you put it into a glass. There's something surrounding this beer which I don't like. If you really dig around for the flavour and you really savour it, then you get a nice little bit of something coming on the finish. Nice little smoothness, a little bit of creaminess, a little bit of biscuitiness coming on the finish, which kind of makes up for the fact that it's quite a little bit too dry. And the more I drink it, the more I think it's the Lost Lager, and the more it puts me in mind of the old Lost Lager that I had many years ago that I didn't really like. It's a shame, when I first started drinking it, I thought it was alright. The more I'm drinking it now, the more it's opening up, the more it's getting a little bit warmer and the flavours are coming through, the more I'm getting it. It's kind of like an abrasive bitterness coming through it. And that's something I used to get with the Lost Lager. If I've got these the wrong way around now, I'm going to look like a complete and utter muppet, and I'm not going to bother with the rest of this. But hopefully, hopefully I'm getting the right way around. At the end of the day, I know Paulaner, I know Brewdog Lost Lager. I figured that the Paulaner would win in this bit anyway. And to be honest, tasting them now is making me understand why. I mean, I'm drinking this quite a lot now. Not really enjoying it that much. It's okay. I enjoyed it more before. This one, it's not as good as I remember it. I think with Paulaner, you get good bottles and bad bottles. I've had this a few times in the last few weeks or so. The first time I had a bottle, I wasn't impressed. I didn't like it at all, really. And the second time I had it, it was absolutely gorgeous. One of the best things I've ever drunk in my life. I really enjoyed it. And I'm drinking it now, and it's getting better. But I don't know. There's a little bit of harshness to this one as well. A little bit of harshness to this one. It is quite dry, but there's a lot of other flavours there. There's a bit of maltiness, there's a bit of breadiness, and it's all kind of balancing it out a little bit, balancing that dryness out. And I always say with a lager, hit me with what you want up front. Bang, that's the interesting bit. Up front is the bit that's interesting. That's where I'm going, wow, yeah, I'm getting all these kind of flavours. But leave me with something nice on the finish. Leave me something nice and smooth, something a little bit bitter, bit clean, just so that I want to go back in for some more. I have a nice little memory of the mouthful. I have a mouthful, and then I have a good memory of what I just drank. This doesn't. This leaves me with a little bit of abrasiveness that I'm not a big fan of. This one, the flavours are there, but it's a bit harsh. It is a bit harsh, and compared to some of the other beers that I reviewed in this first round, it's not as good. So I think, unless I get a better bottle than this in the next round, I don't know how far this will get, to be honest. And this would have been, if I were to pick a favourite out of all the beers, this possibly would have been the favourite. At the moment, it's not looking, again, I'm hoping these are the right way around, but at the moment, it's not looking, this one, whatever it is not looking like it will get a huge amount further. Especially if it is meeting that amazing Menabrea in the next round. So it'll be interesting to see. A little bit more of a palate cleanser. Go from this one to that one now. yeah, it's got more of a whole flavour. It covers your mouth. There's more breadth of the flavour there. This one's a bit harsh, a bit watery. It's an acquired taste. They're very different flavour profiles. This one does taste more crafty than this one. This one's going through. I think this one's the Paulaner. We will find out when we come back. And we're back! And I know which one's which now. Let's have a look. So this one, I said it was the Lost Lager, didn't I? Well, this one was the Lost Lager. And many of you who took the spoiler earlier on would know. And I didn't actually tell you that I was going to tell you which one's which. Doesn't actually matter. I'll put it as a caption as we go up. And this one was indeed the Paulaner. Not the best bottle of Paulaner I've ever had. I won't lie. It's I've had better. I mean, it was obvious from how they looked. With this one being cloudier than this one, which one was which. At first, I was impressed with this, and I wasn't that impressed with this. And I almost kind of hoped that this one would win, you know. And then it would have been really weird if this one won and turned out to be the Paulaner, because that was bizarre. That would have been bizarre. But the thing is, it's not. I don't know. I mean, it depends how you view your lagers, how you like your lagers, what you think a good lager is. But to me, that's a little bit abrasive. It tastes like there's a little bit something in there that shouldn't be there. Something not incredibly nice. This one's smoother. It's nicer. It's, you know, I could drink this all day. Well, certainly when I get a good bottle, I can drink it all day. But we'll have to see. I'll get another bottle for the next round, and we'll see whether it's any better. I mean, who knows? The way we're going to do the next round is going to be slightly different, but stay tuned for that. And that's it. That's the way around. So the Paulaner's staying in. The Lost Lager is gone. So that's it. Both the crafty boys are out, and this guy. Let's see how he can do for Germany. But at the end of the day, we've got Warsteiner, we've got Kronbacher. Germany is well represented in this lager taste test. We'll see how we're doing. So, there you go. That wraps up the first round. So, I tell you what, let's have a look at the... Should we have a look at the quarterfinals? No, we'll have a look at the quarterfinals at the beginning of the next video. We'll save that. But I think you all know who's in it. Interesting. Well, that's it. Nothing more to say. Until next time, have a good one.